What's up, everybody out there? This is Dave Buckner, Buck Dog. You're listening to Hardly Heroes.
Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast.
High above the city, they shine in my spotlight. Commissioner on the rooftop, double H in the night sky. For the sidekicks we fight, for the right crosses we go. For the ninjas we injure, revenge on our foes. From crime alleys to radioactive insects, genetic mutations, Weapon X rejects, our infinite Earths are in crisis. Our wars are civil but secret. Here come Buddy, Manny and Aaron, blaring through your speakers. Yeah, Hardly Heroes. It's clobbering time.
Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I'm your host, Buddy.
I'm Manny.
And I'm Aaron.
On episode 91,
Yes.
we have in studio Dave Buckner from Papa Roach.
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta find my applause. Go ahead.
All right, how's it going, everybody?
Well, hello.
There we go. Yeah,
All
I
right,
got an
happy
applause.
to be
Look at
here.
that. I like
love
that beautiful audience. Now stop. Okay. There we go.
Oh, wow.
I got it.
We also have other guests in
Yes.
studio today.
Yes, I brought a couple special guests with me. First of all, real quick, let me introduce you to my son, Bon, who's going to give a quick little what's up right now.
Hey guys.
There it is.
And also, I brought with me the man, the myth, who I like to call my bonus child. This is Andrew. Say what's up, Andrew.
Hello, I'm here now.
Nice.
We're very glad to have you both.
Yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. I know you guys are busy. You're doing your thing. You just got off a boat, is from what I heard.
I did.
Awesome.
I just got off. Stacy and I just came off of Shiprock 2018, and I'm a member of the all-star cover band called the Stowaways.
Nice.
And so it's my 1 week a year to go play Rockstar and play some songs with friends and
Sweet.
get in front of people and say hi to fans and just have a blast for a week. And it was a lot of fun.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
So is this like a cruise? Is it what?
It is basically, I guess the elevator pitch would be it's a rock and roll festival on the water. So it's a cruise ship. Like they get the Shiprocked organization, whatever, rents out a Carnival cruise for the week.
Yeah.
And then, there's a ton. It's a rock and roll festival. So like this
That's
year
awesome.
was like Stone Sour, Seether, POD,
Oh,
In This Moment,
Nice.
Black Label Society, and then various. I mean, if you could check their website or whatever to follow them and see
That
what's
is
up. But
super cool.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's like my whole high school right there. Like every bit of music,
I know,
I'm sure,
right?
is like in there. I love
totally,
it.
totally.
So, Andrew, did you get to go?
No, I didn't. I just did.
We're working on that for next year, though. I think
Yeah.
every year that I get asked back to do the Stowaways, I'm in the cover band, like I said, called the Stowaways,
Yeah.
and so it's not guaranteed that I'm going to get asked every year, but every year they do ask me back. So last year I was like, so can I bring my lady with me? So like Stacy got to come on last year, and then this year we went again. So I think next year that'll be the next thing. So can we bring our kids next time? And,
Nice. Yeah,
just
there you
just up the ante a little bit every time.
Yeah, just a little bit each
Yeah.
time, so they're like, he's not asking for
Fourth
much.
time. Hey, can
exactly.
Granny come too? You
I
know?
got a third cousin who really wants to come. It's
Exactly.
super important.
Well, awesome, man. So you're playing with that band. What was the band's name again?
It's called the Stowaways.
The Stowaways.
Yeah, and it's an all-star cover band with like a revolving lineup. So it's
Okay.
different people get asked to do it every year, but for the past 4 years they've asked me pretty consistently
That's
every
cool.
year to come back
That's
and do
awesome.
it. So hopefully I get to do it again next year.
Is that the only band you're working with right now? You got
That's-
anything else going on?
That's pretty much the only thing I'm doing,
Okay.
man. That and rocking my dad duty, man. The
Yeah.
rest of the
Hey,
year, that's it, man.
That comes
It's like-
first, family first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
always fun.
That's awesome. We really appreciate you coming in. I know it was kind of short notice. We didn't expect you in today until yesterday midday.
Yeah, midday.
And we freaked out a little bit. I have to say, we did freak out. Mostly me.
Me
I'm
a
a
little
planner. I'm a planner. I'm really difficult for me to improv. So I'm just like, no, I've got to be ready for Dave, dude.
Oh,
I got to do
man.
my research. I got to make sure I don't say anything stupid to this guy.
That's
It's
always
like,
going to
You
happen.
want to do
that
his
But
research?
doesn't that make like a more interesting podcast?
Right.
It's like just
It
wing
does.
it. You know what? It's like this is the dare to be great moment. Just like let it all fly and like it's gonna be great.
Yeah, of course. That's what
But I to-
podcasting is all about, right?
I totally get that point of view though, because I'm that way about my music.
Yeah.
And I was working on a project a few years ago with the leader of the band. Didn't have that same mentality. I come from a standpoint of like, when you go see a magician, like you make magic by practice, like blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And the guy I was working with, like one of the guys in the band, was like, "No, dude, we're just gonna go up there and wing it, and like see what happens, and it's gonna be awesome." And I'm like, "No, dude, no."
Can't handle that.
You know what? Working in that situation kind of brought me into that point of view, and like almost like just trusting in that sometimes. Like sometimes you just
Right.
gotta trust the universe, trust the moment, and like know it's gonna work out. So
Right.
here I am.
Yeah.
Right?
I love
That's what's up.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
They just always give me shit because I brought on a couple other guests, and it's always like day before, hey, we're gonna have this person on, and me and you had talked at that Christmas party, and I'm like, Dave's gonna come on the show, and they're like, yeah, we'll believe it. And then it was 2 weeks ago, we were kind of talking, and I was like, yeah, so I got a big announcement. Dave, Buckner's coming on the show February 1st. And Manny looked at me and was like, as soon as the show was over, he's like, is he for sure coming? And I was like, and I like
a great
totally
question.
was a little nervous. So I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah.
So I didn't look like a liar.
Definitely. I mean, I was as soon as you asked me, Sterling, I was 100% locked in. I think I was just poor at communicating that I was on board the entire time.
Right. Yeah,
And then
boat.
I think at that time I was getting ready for the Shiprock thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was busy rehearsing my songs and doing all that workflow.
Oh, yeah.
And then sorry I didn't get back to you, but like in my mind I've been planning this day like the whole time.
That's
So
awesome.
That makes me
I was
feel
like, there's
good.
no way I'm
awesome.
missing out
Makes
on
me
this. This is
feel
cool.
way more important than I really am. So
Yeah.
We
Feel
talked a
pretty
little
good.
bit a little bit earlier. We were talking about your episode on the Sober Guy podcast. It was
Yes.
really good. I listened to it. Great stuff, man. Especially the stuff of you talking about the band Papa Roach and how you guys got started. That was all some really cool stuff to listen to. I personally, growing up, listening to music, as you can see, music is important to me. Papa Roach kind of played an interesting part of my life, and it was a part of my life where I was listening to nothing but. Oh, it's okay.
I do it all the
guys do it
time.
all the
Like
time.
it's every show. I always it's bad.
Papa Roach for me was a time in my life that I was transitioning, and it was the perfect type of transition, music-wise. I was listening to nothing but rap and hip-hop, and I was slowly starting to transition into rock, and you guys came along, as well as other bands too.
We were like the gateway band for you, right?
Right.
Exactly,
Yes,
dude.
That's it.
And it's like before you know it,
Come over to the dark side.
before you know it, I was listening to like System of a Down and stuff, and my parents, they'd never heard me listen to stuff like this, and they were like, what's happening to this
We're
guy?
calling a priest
Yeah.
right now.
Yes, exactly. So, it's cool. I mean, and now you're sitting in my home. That's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
So, yeah. So, what you guys?
Well, I had a real funny story to kind of talk about.
A little
since we had
bit.
Dave on is me and Aaron went to the boardwalk and we saw Taproot. This was
Right. We were 16, maybe 15, 16. We were
yeah, I'm
16-ish.
31 now. So.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
But that was when I met Dave for the first time,
Right.
and you were handing out flyers.
No, it wasn't a flyer. It was a business card. It was a business card. I think it had the Ganesh on it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was like a
was
little
a little-
art piece that
it was
I had done.
yeah.
It was a digital art piece, and it was an image
Told you.
of Krishna, which is a Hindu deity.
Yeah.
And then I
was super close.
I had like binary code raining down over and
Yeah.
behind him, and like I just created this little art piece, and I was handing it out like
Yeah.
here everybody, here's some art, like free art here, check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had it for the longest time, and I went digging around
Oh,
in some crates and trying to find some stuff. Well, my fiance Michelle, she is a huge Papa Roach fan, and so
dear.
I ended up digging up some stuff
Yeah. What's funny about that show?
that I thought would be really funny.
Hey, look at that, dude.
So I actually have a drumstick that she got from one of your shows.
Oh, Brian, let me check
That
that
is
out.
hilarious. And then
Oh dear.
a pass from a show
Very
she
cool.
went to, Papa Roach's Last Resort cassette
What's a
tape.
what is that? What's a cassette? I don't know what that is.
Right?
Cassette?
Cassette?
It
Yeah.
was a
What do you
cassette,
do with these things? I don't even know. Like, where do you?
I don't
yeah,
understand.
What is it?
You put it in your
That's
CD
weird,
player.
right?
Yeah, right.
Isn't that crazy? And then I had this VHS tape.
Another relic from
Once
an
again,
ancient past.
VHS,
Wow,
I don't get it.
VHS. This is awesome.
That's my wife. My
So
wife's
this is,
here.
This is this is the last resort. This is like the promo video that we were handing out to different to fans and radio stations,
Oh, man.
whatever multimedia. And yeah, it has the Last Resort video, and then Let the Madness Begin, which was like our EPK at the
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah, I thought that
this
was so cool. And then this random, I think it was a keychain that I found.
Looks like
And then she has
Looks
a
like
bunch
a Christmas
of.
ornament.
like
That's
a,
what I
Yeah,
thought.
that's what we were like, what is it? Who
You
cares?
should put that on your tree next year.
Yeah,
dude. That's
right?
pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's cool.
It looks like it was probably sold at like Hot Topic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like some Hot Topic.
That's funny.
The only
Some
thing I
bling.
couldn't find is she had a stack of old shows that you guys played, just the paper ones. And I tried to find them, but I couldn't. But that was some of the stuff I came across, and I was dying. I was like, I can't wait to show him. She's like, he's not going to want to see that stuff.
Oh, I love this stuff. I love this
So-
stuff, dude. This is like, and trust me, I have a whole tote at home, like full of like this kind of stuff. Although I don't have this, so I might.
That's
You ever get to
If
the
you
point where
want
you're
we
like,
might have to negotiate
Ah,
somewhere
right.
for that. Yeah,
There we
or,
go.
But yeah, I have like all kinds of like old press and magazine covers
Oh,
and
yeah.
like promo stuff. And
does it
like,
ever get
just
to the point where
stuff.
you have too much and you have to get rid of some of that? You ever
Hell
feel
no, I'm
no,
not
you
getting rid
keep
of
it
none of
all.
my
huh?
stuff.
I love it. I love it.
Good, good.
That's my
awesome.
memories, man. That's my memories.
That's why I'm
awesome.
keeping our first ever stickers. I have one left, and I'm keeping it because that one day when we were famous. Sure.
Yeah, okay.
why not?
Sure.
I can only
You
hope.
must manifest this into
Right.
the universe.
That's
guys.
what I'm
Yes,
saying.
I believe it.
I love it.
Any day now. So our podcast is definitely not as serious as the Sober Guy podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We have a little fun around here. So I sent you some questions. I don't know if you had a chance to look at
I
them.
got him. Yeah.
Yeah, you got them. Awesome.
Nice.
All right.
Andrew
cool.
and I both have. We
Yes.
both reviewed
We
and
wanted to hear
prepared.
I
both
love
of
it.
you
I love
guys'
it. So this kind of icebreaker questions get people in the mood, kind of figure out what type of personality you have and all that stuff. So first question is, do you guys have a
Start
favorite-
over, Manny. It's okay.
Favorite superhero? There you go.
Do you want to go first? Or?
Sure, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
All right, so my growing up, like I got into comics right around probably 6th, 7th grade.
Oh, I love
pretty
it.
heavy.
nice.
And at that time, like for me, the big characters were like Batman, Wolverine, and then like the Marvel guys. But for me, it was like because the Frank Miller's Wolverine had come out, and then if you remember another Frank Miller graphic novel, what was it called?
Dark Knight
The
Returns?
Dark. Yes.
Oh
See,
my God.
see, that's why I'm glad I brought Andrew because
So
he
good.
is a walking encyclopedia of the stuff. Yes, Dark Knight Returns, which I think they based like the new Batman
Right.
off of,
They
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And then also like Killing Joke was coming out. Like so much cool stuff was coming out around that
yeah.
time, and like Arkham Asylum, the graphic novel. So for me, like for that period of time, for me, like when I was really into comics, it was Batman, like all the way.
Yeah.
And then, but now, like today, like I'd have to say, like I think Deadpool's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I gotta
Deadpool
tell
is
you,
awesome.
I gotta tell you, I
That's
think
a good
Deadpool-
one.
Yeah.
It's interesting what you can get away with when it's just a superhero. Like that movie's pretty gruesome. Like I feel like I'm going to cons and seeing children like dressed up as Deadpool. I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I guess
little 5-year-olds,
Right.
little 5-year-old Deadpools, man.
Right? Pretty true. Okay, what about you? What about you,
yeah.
Andrew?
yeah.
Andrew, what you
I'm-
got?
It's a tie for me because I can't really because I like them both for different reasons. I like Batman a lot mostly because I just find his character kind of interesting and fascinating, and just the whole entire world of just Gotham and all that's just perfect. I love it. But then I'm tied between that and Spider-Man because Spider-Man's just kind of right up my alley. He's
Yeah.
more fun and whatnot. I just like just kind of just like reading or just watching these adventures of Spider-Man. Just I'm a kid and I'm gonna do Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
That's always was fun.
How'd you like the movie?
Oh, Homecoming. I
Yeah.
loved it.
It's a good one,
Really
right?
good.
It was
Yeah.
really good. It was something I wanted in a Spider-Man film for a while. I always found Spider-Man to be better when he's lighthearted instead of dark and brooding. Like stuff like Spider-Man Rain just doesn't click with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I always-
too dark.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What do you think about the Tony Starkification of the spider suit?
Oh, yeah.
that. I think it's good. I mean, I'm glad they're not like going overboard with it. I mean,
Are you happy that he doesn't have the arms? Maybe those things are going to pop out eventually.
I'm
in the
pretty
movie?
sure they're gonna pop out in Infinity War because
Yeah.
A, it's Iron Spider suit, and then B, Lego set leaks and all that. But I won't get
Yeah,
into those.
yeah.
So like,
Knows it all.
I've lost track of like the whole canon, like storyline, whatever, like that. So Tony Stark making like Peter's suit, is that canon? Is that? I mean, obviously it's in the movies, but
it was
like is
part of the Civil War, the comic book series.
Okay.
He did that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although in that storyline became much more dark than our entire
Yeah.
Iron Spider thing or whatever.
Yes.
I don't think they're gonna be going down that route because
No,
Civil
definitely.
War's over, and
Yeah.
other stuff.
Goliath's still alive.
True.
What?
Yeah, that's well, yeah.
Spoiler alert. Whoa.
Okay, those are great questions.
Yeah,
I mean, they're great answers.
great
Great
heroes.
answers.
They're great questions too, Manny.
Do you guys
don't sell
thank
yourself
you,
short.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Favorite villain? Do you guys have a villain?
I think it has to be Darth Vader because I'm just
Yeah.
a
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And there's always just moments as a kid when I watched Star Wars and I always saw Darth Vader and I was always just like, oh my god, he's so great. Like,
Yeah.
he's like the epitome of like just a great villain. You know, he's bad. You know, he looks cool and whatnot. You know, he's imposing, he's intimidating, but also there's that kind of deep kind of character and you know all that stuff within him that just makes him fascinating to me.
Yeah, definitely.
All the new stuff they're doing with him in the comics is great because they're just making him just this murderer who just goes around. I mean, it's more than that, but yeah. I remember just as a kid, my first moment when I got introduced to Darth Vader was when I was watching Empire Strikes Back, and they cut to commercial break right after like the Luke, you know, Vader, you know, cave scene where you know comes off his head.
Oh yeah.
I remember when it cut back to commercial break, Vader was there, and I asked my dad, I was a little like, so is like Darth Vader a robot? Like how do you survive that? Because I didn't know what was going on. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, I guess.
And that's the scene where he has Luke's face, right?
Yeah.
So
It's symbolic.
I know, and I was old and I saw that movie in the theater like in 1983, and like I remember seeing that, and I'm like, what's going on? Like I didn't get it. I had no idea about
That's-
metaphor and
yeah.
symbolism and whatever. So
Irvin
it.
Kershner ruined Star Wars, man. He totally just dropped the ball. He ruined the mythology.
we're on the way over here, and like like everyone's poo pooing like Last Jedi, like how they went
yeah.
every way they went
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
And so like you want to tell them about like this?
Oh,
you
yeah.
found like a meme or something?
No, it's like a Twitter thread. There's lots of them, but I found this one where it was just someone watching Empire Strikes Back and just being like, "Oh my gosh, like, oh, so now C-3PO is cracking jokes while Luke's dying? Well, that's just like dumb. Wow, Han's gonna finally get some, but no, you have to have C-3PO just come in and just and it's just like,
That's
man,
true.
it's
That's-
funny.
If the internet had existed back then,
Right.
it's like we'd be in a much
Exactly.
different place. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, I think we even talked about it, like the original trilogy was silly as crap, like so silly, like
Right.
Oh yeah.
and but we love it. Like we love the silliness. It's not serious. It's not a Star Trek. Star Trek was inherently more serious than Star Wars was.
Oh yeah.
But that's why we watch Star Wars to escape a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're not watching a political drama. It's literally just entertainment.
I don't need that thing explained to me on why it's floating. It's floating because it's cool. Yeah.
Like, how does the Death Star move? We don't ask those questions.
Exactly. It's like if you want to start really like just like
Breaking
nitpicking, like do all the physics work and stuff like that. I mean, it's like it's a little too late for that. I think. It's like I think from the first movie on, like it's like either
over.
you're on board or you're not. You know.
I always just viewed Star Wars as just kind of the pinnacle of escapism.
I
You
love
know,
it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
King Kong in the 30s, and then in the 70s it was Star Wars, man. You know, because around that time some stuff was going on. I think Vietnam War just happened. Everyone was just kind of like, oh my god, that was bad. So then Star Wars came in, and it's like, hey, it's okay, we got Star Wars. You know? Everyone was just relaxing.
Awesome.
Well, I was really pulling for Andrew. I follow his mom on Instagram, and he had a bet going saying that Yoda was not in the new Star Wars movie.
Uh-huh.
It was $100.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
and if I lost the bet, it would result in me losing all my Christmas presents.
Oh, no.
That's right. That's how I roll, man. It's all or nothing. We lay it all out on the table. But we were watching the trailer for Last Jedi. And there's that scene where they, it's like a drone or helicopter shot, and they're like showing Rey next to the rock, and she's, doing like some lightsaber training. And I pause it on a certain frame, and I'm like, dude, that little like nub on top of the rock, that's Yoda. And like Andrew was like, no, dude, he's not even going to be in the movie. And I'm like, you know what? I came to this conclusion. I'm like, okay, even if that little nub that I'm seeing is not Yoda, I bet he's going to be. I think someone in the art department like photoshopped it to put it in like a little mind worm. You know what I mean? That like, hey, Yoda's going to be in the next movie. I think there's. I have the kind of brain that works like that. I just see things a little differently than most people. And I saw Yoda, and from then on, I just knew he was going to be in the movie. And so Andrew was smart. He actually didn't take the bet. He called off the bet.
I was
He's
going to
like,
say,
"Oh,
it's
wow."
like, so no Christmas presents for you, huh?
Yeah, no, I got some. Yeah, I got lots of great ones. But yeah, I called
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a close one.
Yeah. Woo.
I love it.
Oh man.
All right.
What about you? Do you have a favorite villain at all?
Oh yeah, we didn't get
Sorry.
to.
You know,
Thank you.
I think you pretty much handled that. I think Darth
Darth
Vader,
Vader?
man.
He's
Yeah,
a good
Darth
one.
Vader.
Darth Vader's
You know?
great.
He's
yeah.
pretty solid, dude. It's hard to beat Darth Vader.
Star Wars
He's
just
a
has
king.
some. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like Star Wars just has some of the best villains just
Oh,
in
yeah.
cinema history.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So if you guys could have your own superpower, super ability, what would it be? And it's a two-part question.
Yeah.
If you had super fantasy-like power, pick one, and then something that's more in reality, that would be your second choice.
Okay. I'm trying to think of powers, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
Yeah.
I've always thought it would be cool to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, isn't that,
Fly's a
everyone's like,
classic.
that's like, you know.
I like
right?
it too. That was my favorite.
I mean, it's pretty standard, but I mean, like, dude, like, we've all had those dreams. Like, we're like, woo, you know, it's like flying. And, like, I just think it'd be awesome to, like, you know, without a plane, without any kind of, like, mechanical contraption, just be able to, like, take off. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
The most recent dream I've had about that is that I can fly, but I can't quite get up off the ground long enough.
I've had that dream. I've had that
I
dream,
can
dude.
figure it out. It's like I know I can fly, and I got up in the air, but just coming right back down. It's like, what happened? What am I not thinking of? It's like,
I've totally had that dream, but and also in my dream, like in order to get off the ground, I had to jump like a pole vaulter, you know, like how,
Yeah.
like backwards
You have to
and
find
like
something that
launch
just
back,
kinda
like
keeps you
Yeah,
going.
it is.
I have
it's
no
like
idea
that,
why that was
like broken
that, but-
down car that you just need to get going.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Or
what
you
it
need
feels
your
like.
training, your flying training wheels
Yeah,
first,
exactly. Yeah.
and then just to help. It's a
Little
starter
training
kit.
wings.
Yeah, it's training
what
wings.
You know, some like
Superpower?
fairy
Yeah.
dust or something.
Yeah, exactly. Happy thoughts.
I'd love fairy dust, but I'd like to just. I always thought teleportation would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
I like that.
places I just want to go. Like,
Now, is it more like a
Like
Nightcrawler,
Nightcrawler?
like you have to see that where
yeah.
you're going, or is it more like Jumper, where you could just see a photo?
I would
Bamf.
just say,
Is it
I'd
jump or
say,
yeah,
I'd say
Yeah.
jump, man.
Yeah.
Because like Marvel always does those live streams. It's like we're at the red carpet premiere of Infinity War. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm here now.
There it is. Easy enough.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that smell? Oh, he just got
You
it.
just
What do you
bammed
feel?
here. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
And also just just to see like just go to places I want to go, like Tokyo or
Yeah.
Australia. I don't
There
know,
it is.
all that stuff. Yeah, that.
You have a week-long vacation, and you could visit.
Anywhere.
Japan.
Everywhere.
You're not
Yeah,
even jet lagged.
Oh.
Nope. Just
Done.
that'd be
Oh, I like
great.
it.
Oh, cool. I like those. Did we have more like real abilities, like
Like super strength or
something that
Like smart, you know what I mean? Like super intelligent, smart.
if you could just basically amplify something about yourself, what would that be?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I like to be smarter. I like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
super hair follicles.
Oh, that would be great.
You know what I'm saying? That's mine.
I know they both have
I know.
very plush hair, and you're sitting over here.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
Like I had
it's a curse.
I don't want to sleep. Like if I didn't have to
Right.
sleep, that would be awesome.
Right? That would be
I would
great.
get so much shit done.
Like if we wouldn't go totally insane without having sleep,
Right.
it'd be great to be
It'd
able
be-
to.
I'd be
like, you
perfectly
get-
healthy,
you
too.
get so much done that way.
Yeah.
Well, I thought yours was gonna be eating.
Was it eating? Maybe
Yeah,
it
I thought
was eating.
because he was like, "I never want to eat again," and I'm
It's
like,
like if I didn't have to eat, that would be kind of awesome. It's just like, you get home and you're like, so what are we eating tonight? Like, that question again. It's just like, I hate that.
I
I-
couldn't
such
give that up.
I love food too much to give that up.
Exactly.
Maybe eat whatever I want and not worry about it, but
Yeah.
I just love to eat.
I would like to have
Tacos.
Just,
Right.
Yes.
I like to have those right now.
Sounds delicious.
Speaking of eating,
yeah.
I'll have I don't know. All the ones I'm trying to think of are just extremely goofy, like being able to like be as good with guns as Punisher. or
There it
whatever.
is.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, I would just love to just rail on like
Excellent
machine
marksman.
guns,
Yeah.
like John Berthal.
That'd be
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you definitely watch Punisher then?
No, I haven't. Just seen the trailers.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched any of the Netflix shows. I don't really have time.
Yeah.
Although I
Busy
have.
guy.
Yeah. There was a moment at a Comic-Con. I don't mean to get off track, but like I was sitting near the bathrooms, right, and John
As you
Bernthal was
do.
there. Of course, I do that a lot. I was just sitting there, just looking at this like little Godzilla little figure I got. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then out of the bathroom, John Bernthal walks out with a security guard. And don't ask me why a security guard was with him in the bathroom, but
Yeah,
I don't know
that-
that question. I mean, I
He
don't
was
know.
worried somebody's gonna ask him for his
Right,
autograph
right.
while
You
he's
never
taking a
know.
dude.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just stood
Being
there in shock.
accosted.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like a scary dude. I just don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
I don't be like, Mr. Bernthal, can I get an autograph? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And just
Pushes your head through a wall. No.
Well, that's what the security guard's there for. Like, he just looks at you and goes, and then the security guard goes, get out of here, kid. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys had a weakness, if you guys had any weakness, what would it be?
Emotions.
Okay.
Tacos. It's my weakness, man. My weakness.
I love it.
Awesome. I like it. Okay, what's next? What do we have? Okay, in a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice?
No guns.
No
though.
guns.
Okay.
No guns.
I have lots of just crazy weapons in mind. It has to be like a real life weapon, right? Not just.
It just has to be believable.
Look, nothing is crazier than mine. I picked a mannequin limb and Hulk hands. Okay,
Yeah,
That's,
he's-
Okay, all right.
right.
He's
so,
not going to stay alive for very long.
Yeah, no.
It was like
About 5 seconds.
That mace that's hanging off the wall there. That was one of my choices. I don't know how well it would work, but
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
Okay, so no guns, but what about those Elon Musk flamethrowers that are going around?
Oh my
right
God.
now? Is that-
Hey,
can
that-
I vote
like
for
that.
that?
I'm good with
I
that.
want one of those, dude.
Yeah,
I want one of those
that.
just to have one. Yeah, it's so cool.
So I mean, like, how do you refill that though? You just stop by the gasoline station,
Right.
You just
Well, in my zombie apocalypse, I would have an infinite supply of fuel for my
course.
flamethrower.
Hey, well, it
so-
works.
Be like
And you
a
Yeah.
road warrior, you know what I mean? He'd have that big old like container.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
how
a diesel
would I
truck.
refuel it? Don't worry about it.
yeah.
It'll work. We'll figure it out.
Well, somebody once told us they would use a lightsaber, so I guess yours would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
I never even considered that. That would be awesome.
I got some
thinking of
kyber
that.
crystals in the closet over here, so
there you
we're
go.
good.
Wow,
We're
it's-
fine.
Well, if we're gonna talk about lightsabers.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking of all these other crazy weapons, but to be realistic, I don't know really. I think I would just take. I mean, and like axes are cool. I guess I'd take
Yeah.
some of those.
yeah.
Although if we were talking about like just any weapon for anything, I'd be like I'd take the sword from Samurai Jack because that's indestructible and it's cool looking.
There
There
it
you go. That's a good pick. I like that.
All right. Well,
Gosh,
those
that's
are our normal questions. We'll kind of get back
Yeah.
into the episode and kind of talk a little bit about.
Manny, you dropped the ball. You didn't start the timer.
I know.
yo.
I noticed
Come
that.
on.
But I have the timer here, so we're 30 minutes in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we're
All
good.
right,
We're
ready?
doing good.
Wow.
Time
I know.
flies.
I know.
Time
Time
wow.
flies.
All right. Well, you get a pass for that one.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you guys get a chance to watch the new Ant-Man trailer?
Trailer?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes.
Yeah. How you guys
I-
liking that?
I woke up in the morning, and as usual, Marvel's like, "We released a trailer." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And I like it a lot. I'm excited for it.
It looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think I'm in the minority where with Ant-Man, I was like, it's good. It's not as good as everyone's saying though. Because
I
like,
second that. I
It took
felt
a
the
couple of
same
watches.
way.
yeah.
I appreciate it for what it is. It's a no pun intended. It's a very small movie.
Really?
It's just a very contained movie.
What?
Yeah.
I saw it. I think it looks cool, but like I'm a fan of like when all the heroes get together. I like the Avengers movies.
So you like
Oh,
the
yeah.
team up? Yeah.
I love the team up movies. I think that it takes a lot to make a good standalone movie. I think.
Oh yeah.
Especially
I mean,
nowadays, we've
like,
gotten
even
so
like-
many origin stories. It's
I
like
know.
another origin story, but in this case, it's not. But
So yeah, like I'm a fan of the team up movies. You know what I mean? Although Black Panther, I think looks pretty cool. Maybe. Although we were
man.
talking about the CGI in that one fight scene,
yeah,
we're like,
there's a clip they released on ABC of like a fight scene, and it looked worse than Justice League.
Oh, no.
It was awful. It looks
Oh,
like
man.
it looks like those like old like PS2 Spider-Man games where they're like moving really slow and like throwing and it looks really bad. Because at least with Justice League, even though all that CG was bad, it's like at least they still have texture. At least they look good for PS4 or whatever. But these look like really bad. I hope they hope they
well, it's
up
gotten
it
good
up.
reviews. It's gotten some
Right.
pretty. It's
Yeah, they just had the premiere like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
three-
around there.
Oh, on Monday, yeah. And it's everybody's not like nobody's saying a bad thing about it.
Oh,
Like
that's-
it's just all positive. So
Yeah, we're
Oh,
getting.
right on, man.
Are you guys very familiar with the villain that's in it?
Yeah, Killmonger or
Is it? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm
Ant-Man.
talking about Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Back to Ant-Man.
well, there's Ghost,
Ghost,
and then
yep.
there's Morpheus is also in it. I think all I know about Ghost is that I think it's a he in the comics.
Yeah.
He's an Iron Man villain, and because there's no one for Ant-Man to fight with, I guess
Right.
they're like, well, let's just pull her in, and
yeah,
we'll
like
make it a
very
she.
techie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks cool from that one shot, like the weird little
Yeah, the
hood
fa-
on.
yeah.
That looks cool.
See, I'm totally out of loop on this one.
It's
I have
okay.
no
Oh, yeah.
idea. Like I saw the.
she looks like a Fallout, or not a Fallout.
Destiny.
Mass Effect.
There it is.
Oh.
Mass
I was
Effect
gonna
or
say Mass
Destiny.
Effect, but
Yeah.
Destiny's a little but
All right.
I like
all
it.
right.
You saw Goliath. What's his name's going to play Goliath?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne, yeah.
AKA Morpheus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which Matrix is one of my
good.
favorite movies. That
Oh,
was
yeah?
one of my favorite of all time.
Which one's your favorite out of the three?
I mean, it's like no competition, right?
Yeah,
I
was
would
gonna
say the
there's-
first one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first one, but I thought the second one was pretty solid too, man.
Yeah.
Like, even though like it kind of went out there.
Sure.
And then everyone criticized the third one, but I liked how they like wrapped it up. I think they tied it up in a bow like nice enough for me. I mean, I was like, like I'm a fan of the trilogy. I like the body of work. I don't really break down like, well, I like that one over that one or whatever. Like, I love it as a franchise. I love it as the entire universe, the storyline. You know what I mean?
They're
Everything
talking about rebooting that.
Yeah.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy, man.
That would be.
I'd be actually really okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know. We read a little bit about it. It's supposed to be a reboot or like in the universe, but not Neo, not Morpheus, just another ship, like
Kinda
like the
like
Nebuchadnezzar, but another faction.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm down. I love that universe. That universe
Yeah,
is
man. I mean, if they're
phenomenal.
doing it with Star Wars, do it with the Matrix too, man.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm the only one here who hasn't seen The Matrix.
Oh.
Sadly.
Wow.
I've only
So
really?
good.
What?
I'm sad. I feel ashamed.
Really,
of
you
that.
haven't?
I've only,
Dave's like,
How have you not?
Hold on.
How have I been sleeping on this
I'm
whole
sorry, I
time? What?
failed you, my child. But
yeah, I was gonna say, Dave, you have failed him.
I think the most I've seen is the final fight scene on TV because I was flipping through it. I'm like, oh, final fight scene, that's cool.
Yeah, that came out in 99 or 2000, I think 99, and that's still like the first still holds up. Like it, like the graphics, the stop motion that they invented for that
Right.
movie,
The bullet time
still
and
holds
the
up.
Circular.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh man.
But
Awesome.
You know, isn't it crazy that like that was the same year the first prequel came out,
Right.
And everyone was so jacked on the prequel, like, oh man, and then like Matrix just put that. I mean, it was just like Star what? I don't even know. Like it was over. It was game over for me, dude. Like
I love it.
it was. Yeah, man, Matrix. I love it. How have we not? How have I not sat you down
crazy.
and walked you through this universe?
Now I'm gonna.
No.
Now I want to watch it. I think I'm gonna go home and watch it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Like
there you
that's
go.
It's a little bittersweet because whenever I find somebody like that, it's like, oh, I've never seen Indiana
Bambi.
Jones or Star Wars. It's
Mulan.
like, first off, like, what? And then second off, let's watch it right now. Yeah, Mulan. Did you say Mulan?
I did.
Favorite.
I'm sorry. I
favorite
haven't brought Mulan up in a long time.
They like a serious Mulan fan.
They just wrapped up the live action.
Oh
He's
yeah.
a
Oh, really?
huge
Yeah,
Mulan.
they wrapped up,
Watch that.
or they're wrapping up live action Mulan, and they just wrapped up the live action Aladdin.
Oh, I've heard about
Yeah.
all that stuff about.
Right?
Will Smith's the genie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude. All
Movie,
right.
by Guy Ritchie.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
No way.
Guy Ritchie doing Aladdin.
Mind blown right now.
Yeah.
Bang. Wow.
Love it.
I mean, because, Lock, Stock, Snatch. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
dude,
yeah. Crazy.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Wow.
I feel like he's pulling a little bit of a Robert Rodriguez where he goes and does like a really violent movie and then he goes and does a children's movie.
Yeah, he's got to
kind of that back and forth. Yeah.
Dude,
Didn't he
I'll back
just do
that. I'll back
King Arthur?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Guy Ritchie movie?
Guy
Yeah, it
Ritchie,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
didn't
was a
see
good
that.
concept. It wasn't a great movie, but I thought it was kind of cool. They kind of
Right.
300 it a little bit, with a lot of special effects and stuff.
Wait a minute. That's not the. Oh, no. I'm thinking of.
King Arthur?
No, the other one. The one. What's it? Sutter did. Didn't he do a King Arthur movie too? Kurt Sutter?
That I'm not sure.
Because this one just came out. It had Charlie Hunnam and Jude Law.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was what whoever we were just talking about.
Okay, so I'm.
What's his
I
eyebrow?
have no idea
Yeah,
what I'm
what's his-
talking about.
yeah,
So that
what's
was
his
that
eyebrow?
was, that was Guy Ritchie too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Guy Ritchie's.
Oh, I gotta go see that.
It's cool. It's got cool special effects and kind of reimagining of the
Right.
story and kind of just adding a lot
Well, it's
a
like,
lot more.
Yeah, nowadays we've had
whimsicalness
so
to it.
like it's those types like that and like Robin Hood and it's those stories you have to have a crazy like twist or a hook to really pull stuff in because we've seen it. We've seen awesome versions and we've seen bad versions of all those old ass stories, and you have to really have a good hook to bring people into that. So it could be a mediocre, but people would think it's just bad, and when it's not, it's just we've seen it. So
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question to ask you guys.
Yes, please.
We straight off, I thought I'd go back to it. Is we were talking about Star Wars, and did you guys enjoyed The Last Jedi?
Oh yeah. I
I'm
really
guessing.
liked
Yeah,
it. I thought it was great.
yeah.
Tell you what I think about this.
Oh, no.
We walked into the theater, and like from jump, they had me on the hook. I mean, I was on board the entire time. I mean, I think that's a testament to like how good these movie studios are at making these movies. Like when I walk in and see an Avengers movie, or like pretty much like any of like, you know, the AAA like big budget blocks, you know, blockbusters. It's very rare that you walk in there and go like, this movie sucks. You know what I mean? Like, so I was 100% on board, you know, like from jump. I mean, everything that went down, I was just like, you know, mouth, you know, on the floor, like, whoa, what's going on? Like, whoa. And then like stepping away from the theater and taking a little bit of time to reflect, I'm like, did that make sense? Did this make sense? Like, I don't know. Like, did all the choices that Rian Johnson made? I mean, I get the impression that Ryan was so adamant about like, if they think I'm gonna zig, I'm gonna zag.
Yes.
If they think I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the exact opposite, just to prove that I don't need, you know, I'm not gonna do anything they think I'm gonna do. And I don't think that necessarily served the movie in every facet. I mean, there's certain things that I think were in the movie that like, did that need to be in there? And there's certain things like
Rose. Yeah, I get it.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Just
Rose didn't bug me.
I didn't mind Rose. But I wasn't really necessarily on board with the whole side quest. I was like, okay, why did that? I mean, but like Rose could have they could have had her do some other cool stuff. You know what I mean? And then, you know, everyone's flipping out over like the Leia Superman moment, and like I was on board, and like I'm still on board with that because I'm like,
I made the argument for it. I was the only one to make the argument for it.
I hated all over that.
But I get it.
And then like, you know, generating the Force holograms, and like, you know, I think that
so good.
Here's a point that I made. I was having this conversation with somebody on the Shipwrecked, and I said, if you think about it this way, look at the name of the first movie and this last series. It's called The Force Awakens.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's not called so-and-so awakens with the Force or whatever like that. It's the Force itself is becoming more powerful. That's how I see it. So any of these new powers and abilities and like angles on like the Force, I think I'm probably just going way out there. They probably haven't even thought this through, but I'm like, dude, it's the Force that's gaining. The Force is now permeating through everybody in the universe now, instead of just a few selected few people.
Well, and that's
so of course there's going to be all these new like abilities and like these things that we've never seen before because the Force is now becoming more powerful itself.
Well, and in that aspect, like you saw that at the end with the kids at the racetrack or whatever.
Yep.
You know, yeah, and it's like that. It's permeating. It is permeating through the whole universe. The idea is coming back, and and that's a big theme of that whole thing. Like
it's almost like the Great Awakening. Or
boom.
You know what I mean?
I'm really torn on the Star Wars fan base right now. I kind of hate it because I'm not usually one to go out and just be like, I hate this fan base because they disagree with my opinion and they should all die. But
yeah, what's wrong with people, man? They're just like they have so much time on their
There's
hands.
haters out there, man.
Yeah.
So much hatred towards this movie.
I think I like Last Jedi a lot. Like Dave over here said, there's some stuff in it that I wasn't really a fan of. I thought the Canto Bight entire subplot, I thought that was good in terms of like Finn's character and whatnot. I just think it could have just been done better, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the only reason why I was okay with that is because it developed his character so well. He was a fraidy cat, you know, in Force Awakens and in this movie, he keeps trying to run away. And until they did that, he was like, no, like I have to save everyone and I'll do whatever it takes. That's what I liked.
There you go. Right on, man.
And then, I liked Rose until like she was like, oh, you know, we can't win the war if we kill people only by loving them, and then does that really weird kiss, which apparently was intended to be awkward according to Ryan Johnson.
There you go.
Yeah,
because you know Finn's like, I don't want you, I want Rey. Give me
Rey. Who does?
Or Poe, whatever.
Yeah, give me Poe. I like Poe too.
Here's a
good-looking guy.
Example of like. Okay, so like take DJ's character, right? Or like there's like, okay, they get sent on this mission to find, you know, the guy with the flower on his lapel, and that's the guy.
Justin Theroux.
Justin Theroux, it turns out to be, right? So, okay, to me, like if I was in the writing room or whatever like that, like wouldn't a great way, like a very Star Warsy thing and a very Force kind of mystical happenstance thing to write in there would have been like, let's say they did find that guy and he did have the lapel, but then like when they meet DJ in the cell, like he could have had one too or something like, or somehow like it was like the guy that they ended up meeting ended up being the actual guy. You know, I don't know. I just think there was a different way to handle that. You know what I mean? But you know,
they apparently
that's not my. I'm not in charge of the fries on that one. So
Yeah, that's okay.
They apparently explained because I walked out of that theater and I was like, okay, so he can just get out of the cell whenever he can, and apparently. Because Disney's always like, oh, this is why this works with our 500 books. And
Yeah.
apparently one of them, they were all like, oh, no, DJ just went there because he likes sleeping there. I'm like, okay, that works.
All right.
They got an explanation for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was leading into how did you guys feel about Rogue One?
Oh, Rogue One. I think it's okay. It's like all the I think the last act was like that's great. It's just great action. I just think it's like it's like the most war we've ever seen in a Star Wars film up to that point. And it's just fun. It looks beautiful because Gareth Edwards. I'm a fan of his previous film Godzilla. Thought that was great. And same with Rogue One. He captures the scale of everything really well. Like the AT-ACTs like walk through the smoke.
Yeah.
And it's like oh my god.
Did you just hear him call out the legit name of that because they weren't the AT-AT? That's
That's
Star
Wars
good. I love it.
knowledge
That was
right
really good.
All-terrain armored cargo transport. They have
Yeah.
the orange lights on the side.
and that's why I brought this kid.
He's like, he's my fact. Right here.
Yeah, but with like Rogue One, like I remember walking out of the theater and be like, "That's better than Force Awakens, amazing, A plus."
Oh, really?
The more-
Yeah,
But the
Did
more-
you still like it better than Force Awakens?
No, I don't actually.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
I like Force. I really like Force Awakens. It's just 'cause I think Force Awakens just kind of it's like, oh man, I feel good watching this movie. I feel like I'm in a nice warm blanket just watching
Yeah.
a
I
nice.
see that.
It's like an old. It's like the hero's journey again. Star Wars and more Death Stars, but with Rogue
Bigger.
One, bigger means better. We're gonna have a bigger Star Destroyer ship, but with Rogue, I liked Rogue One as like, oh no Jedi, they don't exist, who cares? And it's just about we're gonna get the Death Star plans, and that's gonna be cool. And then, but I think my problem with that was just I felt all the characters were kind of underdeveloped and just like they weren't interesting enough.
right.
And I heard people say, well, they give them certain quirks that make them interesting. I'm like, yeah, but they're kind of, I guess. Like, I don't like Jyn, because I heard people be like, she's a better protagonist than Jyn. And I'm like, well, who is she?
Oh, then
Who's
Rey,
her-
you're
Rey?
saying?
But Rey.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
No, that's
No, you're
Well,
fine.
you know, like okay, wait, we're talking about Force Awakens or
Rogue One.
Rogue One. So I think with Rogue One, for me, I thought it was cool to set up because I always wondered, like, how is it that the Death Star had this like major flaw weakness? Like, who was sleeping on that? And like, you come to find out, like, that was
good
intentional.
explanation, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That you learn that story,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I get it now. Like, I see why that existed.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah, that was there. And then, I just thought it was cool, like as a war movie. I thought like it gave me a better
Right.
understanding of the universe. That it's not just a bunch of like action, fantasy, whatever. Like there's like a legit universe, like real wars going down. And then obviously like the last, what's the time code
last
on the
44 minutes, I think, for my basic memory.
Where does Darth Vader come in?
the last like 2 minutes, I think.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, and obviously that right there.
That's
like,
cool.
Me
whoa,
and Dave
mind
were
blowing.
just slapping each other in the knees the entire time. We're like, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
to see Darth
Well, I
Vader.
can imagine for you, you grew up watching it. You said when you were a kid, you watched in the theater,
Yeah,
the
for sure.
the OG version, and in the movie they say Darth is such an amazing, with the Force, but you don't get to see it,
Right.
Because they didn't have that technical ability back then, but you get to see it in at least for those
like you
for
get
that
to see
30
why
seconds.
everyone is so afraid
Right.
of him, like from jump on episode
good.
4. You're like, oh, that's why.
that there it
Because
is
he just like massacred like all these dudes like,
in
oh
a
my
hallway,
God.
just
yeah.
like nothing.
Like it was nothing, like butter.
It was
Just
great.
like they were
Ooh.
young Padawans,
Soft butter.
younglings.
just younglings. We killed younglings. Like, dude, like that's. I mean, you see like it's like it really puts that. It really cements that. Like, wow. Because like when episode 3 came out, I was like, he did what? Like, what? How are you gonna do that? And then like, oh yeah, he's a really bad
He's
dude.
ruthless.
Yeah,
The
man.
Lies of the Jedi.
awesome. Okay, well, what you have? Oh, I thought that was. Is that your hand
No,
raising?
no.
Okay.
I
I require them to raise their hands.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting
Noticed it,
paddles
so-
soon.
Manny's a little
No.
crazy.
Wow.
Aaron posted a question on Facebook, on our
Oh, yes.
Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
We can get into it a little bit. He asked all of our listeners if there was one game you can play for the rest of your life.
What would it be?
What game would it be?
Video game wise.
He meant it as a video
Right,
game,
I
but
did
he
mean-
didn't say a video game, so people started talking about all kinds of stuff.
Right.
But I was curious to hear what you guys, if you guys had a choice.
I'm
Are you a video game player?
Yeah, I am. I'm a Nintendo dog. I'm into that.
Oh.
I'm into their stuff.
Are you playing? What is it? Zelda?
Yeah, I just beat that, and by beat
Nice.
that I mean just skip all the side quests.
I was gonna say, so you spent 400 hours playing a video game?
Yeah, I just did it. I was like, I'm gonna get all the shrines and this, and
There it
then
is.
fight the dumb final boss. But I think I would, because I'm a big Mario fan. Like he's my favorite kind of video game franchise. I just find his games can be like it's like a journey, just going through these weird little worlds, and then you fight Bowser, and then hey, it's the end.
And there's a hot girl at the end.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, and then you never get it. So.
Yeah.
But-
Dave? Oh, sorry.
So for me, I would have to say it'd be a toss up between Witcher 3 and
Okay. You're going.
and Red Dead Redemption.
Nice. That's a great
Nice,
choice.
nice.
Are you excited? Are they're
I'm really
coming up
looking
with a new
forward.
one.
Yeah, they're coming up. Both of those franchises are coming up with
Yep.
new ones. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with that. I hope they don't do a Mass Effect. I hope they don't pull a Mass Effect and ruin it.
Well,
You know what I
and
mean?
they're
So-
we did.
I was
on our-
so disappointed with that new Mass Effect. I'm like, man, come on, dude.
They're doing
Way to ruin it.
a Witcher TV series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I might have to check
I
it
haven't
out.
been big into the lore. I played the first Witcher, but I know like 3 was amazing.
It was
Like just phenomenal.
one of our friends was playing it, and it just like in conversation, like 'cause at that point, like I wasn't even really playing video games that much, and then like our friend Mike was like, "Dude, you got to play this game, Witcher 3. It's literally the best game I've ever played." And I was like, "What? Let me check this out." Right? And I'm like, "Oh, let me pop it." And like, dude, it's right up there. Man. It is just
Really?
like that world just sucks you in, dude. Like yeah, I mean, dude,
love
everything like just how like your decisions really do make real like effects, like they affect like your actual the story arc in the
Yeah.
game, and like and it's like it's great. The one thing I didn't get into with Witcher is Gwent, so I'm like, if you guys know what that is, it's a card game you can play.
No,
in
no.
the
You know,
game.
I started playing it. I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands, and so it seems like something you really have to dedicate a lot of time to playing the game. So I kind of got it started, but I haven't gotten that far. But I hear a lot of good things about it. We go to cons and see people dressed up, and they're just like, and it doesn't. What Vin Diesel has something to do with it?
Wait, what? I
That-
hope not.
That's
Oh, I don't know.
The game.
really.
I feel like wasn't.
Well, Vin Diesel had like the last Witch Hunter game
maybe that's what I'm.
or
thinking about.
movie. Sorry, the last
Witch Hunter.
Witch Hunter movie.
I thought he had something to do with The Witcher, but
Oh, I don't know. I have to look into that.
I'll
yeah.
look it up.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it as a game.
Awesome.
I mean, my advice to you would be just stick with it because, like,
Yeah.
at first too, it took me a minute to get into it, but once you start to roll, it really rolls, man.
Yeah.
It
Nice.
really rolls.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So we haven't even answered that question
Right.
yet. So you guys want to,
Buddy.
Mine was Grand Theft Auto.
I knew you were
Wait,
going to say.
wait,
I
wait, wait.
love that game.
Which one?
Oh, 5.
Okay, because I was gonna say
Because
what,
they
one.
just keep expanding it, and it is like.
Well, that was
just
my
so
question:
much
is
fun.
downloadable content available? For
Sure,
this
why not?
game?
It-
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
Manny.
'Cause that was game changing when when that Grand Theft Auto 3 came out. I
Oh.
just remember being like, video games can never get better than this.
No.
And
It was fun. I watched a funny YouTube video, and it reminded me. They didn't say it specifically, but they're like, "Have you ever just been afraid to jump in the water in a game?" That's the game that did it. Because Grand Theft Auto 3, you couldn't swim for some reason.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
drive forever, but you can't swim.
Yeah.
And like I remember playing because GTA 5 came out like a month ago. Something like that, right? Oh no, I got it a month
You
ago.
got it.
You got. I was like,
It came out like 5 years
It's been out for a while.
Yeah,
Wow.
since 2013. And I was like, and I fell in the water. I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's amazing. So
My choice, it was between Grand Theft Auto because you could just live your life in that game pretty
Yeah,
much.
oh, yeah.
And Halo. It
yeah,
could be
dude,
Halo
yeah.
2. I think I spent more time on that game than any other game in my life. Halo 2.
Did you start a clan?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Man, I was spending hours on that
Halo
game.
was a game changer.
I was failing classes to play that
Yeah,
game.
you're darn right.
Aaron?
Okay,
God.
I was gonna do like I thought of a video game. If it was a video game, I would have chosen Final Fantasy VII. That's
good
not my
one.
choice.
Good one.
That's a good one.
Oh no.
Mancala,
What's that?
I've never heard of that.
it's the bean game.
Yeah, with the
Oh,
beans
that.
in the egg carton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have.
I love that David. I have no idea.
You have little.
up.
You
It's
have
like an
four
ancient
little,
game.
Right. You have 4 little like rocks or pebbles.
So this is it. Oh, okay. Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in the. I played that game so much.
I used
So
to-
many games.
We have that game
That's
at our house. I
interesting.
love that
Right.
game, dude.
It's so good.
and it never gets old.
So that's more
It
like a
never
board
gets
game,
old.
obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was there was somebody on our Facebook page that chose a deck of cards, Jeremy.
Yes.
But I'm like, that's too easy, man, because I could play solitaire all day. Because if I'm just playing by myself, solitaire is it.
Well, he said you could pick. You get
Right.
a card game or cards, and then you could play just about
Anything
any
you
game
want.
you can come up with.
But isn't that kind of stretching the rules? Like,
It is a
what
little bit.
game would you play?
So-
you know what I mean? So,
I
yeah.
actually. Oh, do you have it?
what
I have-
are some of the other
yeah.
cool answers?
Do you have them?
Yeah. So Bird, she's been on the show before, a
April.
friend of the show. She would like to play Sims because she likes to play God.
I like that.
I mean, who would?
You, Jeremy, who he was just speaking about. Jeremy, is this the same Jeremy?
Yeah.
He would like to play Tetris. Other than that, I would cheat. Oh, with a deck of cards, so I can play a number of games.
See? There you
but
go.
he picked Tetris.
Yeah.
Sonny, we've got this. We've got a really cool
Norwegian.
You know what's
listener.
funny
Yeah,
is
super
I think,
sidekick.
kind of a funny story. Why I think we have him is because Stacy, your wife, told me, "Hey, you should, start trying to get like different listeners, just all like start following random people." And that's how Sonny found us.
Yeah, so Sonny's from Norway, and he just takes part in the show. He messaged all of us earlier in the day, and he says, "I'm going to bed now. Can't wait to wake up and listen to this next episode."
Yeah.
Awesome.
So like he's just so been into.
Speaking
it.
of, I got the app from last week that he was talking about.
MyFitnessPal.
So
or the-
I've been out of shape for like forever, for like 10, 15 years. And I just got a gym membership.
Back
And
when Aaron, last time he was fit was
I was
when
a
he played the drums.
skinny Yugoslavian
He's
kid, yeah.
played
All right,
drum.
man. Rock and roll.
And yeah, so Sonny and I are like in a little competition now on working out. You know what I'm
Who's
saying?
winning?
Nice.
I don't know. I haven't checked in, but
okay.
I'm working out like 4 days a week,
Oh, nice.
trying to get my little fupa down. So
Yeah, dude.
so we're doing good. We're doing good.
He picked.
It's funny because anatomically it still works. If you,
Yeah.
if you
I know.
Yeah, yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Sonny picked Fallout and Skyrim.
nice.
Yeah. He
Solid
says,
choices.
Yeah, Skyrim's like one of the longest games. It can
Forever.
never end.
If you do all the side quests, it's like a billion hours. That's accurate. That's pretty accurate. Billion.
John Williams, the same guy that drew that.
Not the conductor from Star Wars.
No. His name's
A
also.
different John
Super
Williams.
Ugly.
He goes by Super Ugly. That's
There
his
it
rap
is.
name. He's a rapper as well. He said the Crying Game. That would be a
That's
little.
what I play every night before bed.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say that was
okay.
your band name in high school.
Karen, this is Buddy's cousin from North Carolina.
No, they live in Florida. But yeah.
Carolina?
Florida. She said Pokemon,
Ooh.
but she wouldn't know
Solid
which
choice.
one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Red.
Video game, card game, Pokemon Go. But
I don't know.
I know. Yeah, you got to be a
there's
little.
so many different.
I would
options
assume
there.
the card game because that's like the traditional. Like when
Yeah.
you say Pokemon, isn't it cards?
No,
Well,
it's,
no,
it's the
they
game.
have-
It's the Game
they
Boy
have
It's a-
game.
okay, I never got
the
into
red
Pokemon.
cartridge and then the blue cartridge.
Yeah, it was red. It was red and blue, and then gold after that.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah, well, she said she couldn't say
It's
which
it's
one.
it's a hard choice because there's some good ones. There's some good nerdy Pokemon games.
Jason said Monster Hunter, grinding for days. I heard didn't
that's
that just
all
come
that
out?
game is.
Yeah.
Well, the new one came out. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I
okay.
know Alex is playing the shit out of that.
Oh,
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Last one, our boy Brandon.
Ooh, go.
Our boy Brandon said Mega Man collection.
That's
and if he was
That's
talking,
Man's
great.
good.
and if he was talking Game Boards, he says Monopoly.
Of course he did.
Monopoly's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I'm gonna buy a bank now.
I do have one question that I've been wanting to ask Dave for quite a while, and this is a big thing for me and Manny is on your first record, Infest. Huge fan of that record, but one thing I always wanted to know is the last hidden track at the very end.
Yeah.
What is the story behind that?
Is there a story
Are you
behind
talking
it?
Yeah,
about? You're
is
talking about
there-
Tightrope. Tightrope.
Yeah,
like
the
this,
one
yeah,
with the
sort of
little like
reggae
sky.
tinge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. Sure.
I'm
Let me make it
super
up right now.
intrigued.
No,
Yeah.
actually, so that song was originally on it was on the last demo that we had released before we got our record deal. It was a demo called, or an EP, whatever, like demo. Like we were selling them like on the,
Yeah.
at our shows and whatnot. So EP called Let 'Em Know. and it had 5 songs on it, and one of the songs was Tightrope, but it was in a totally different form. It was we called it the punk rock version, although it's more just kind of straight ahead rock.
Yeah.
And so we had gotten done tracking all the songs for the record, and Jay Baumgartner, our producer, was like, anything else you guys might want to do? Just like, just throwing it out there. Like, you know, we got some, you know, like, you know, there's always B-sides and whatever. Like, what do you want to, you know, think of something? And we're like, I don't know. Let's think. Well, what, you know, then Tobin came, I think Tobin was actually the one who came up with the idea. He's like, dude, what about if we took that song and flipped it like a dub, like more of like a dub version, you know what I mean? Like the real big boomy bass and like, you know, reggae beat. And so we took that song and just rearranged it into that version. And we thought it was so cool that we put it as the secret track on the record. And that's the story, dude.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that's it. Yeah.
I was always super into that song.
Yeah.
And Manny, we worked together for
That's
a while.
we met each other through work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his iPod, and he had it as a separate track.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
And I was like, how'd you do that? He's like, I had to go in and like cut
Me
it.
too. I did the same thing.
All this, I cut it, and I was like, now I have that song. I could just listen to that song if I wanted.
Yeah, and you didn't have to listen through all the dead
Or
space and
fast
whatever.
forward.
Yeah.
And so I was so jealous, so I made him send me that
That's
so I could put it
funny.
on my iPod. But
Yeah.
we used to play that song all the time, and I always
He's
thought,
gonna take your money after the show because you owe him for that.
Yeah. For
Not
doing
at
it.
all. Not at all, man. No, I mean, yeah, dude, I love that. I love that tune. It was great.
I was always kind of hoping that would turn into like a couple more songs or something, because it was just a
Yeah.
cool song. I always
Yeah.
really liked that style.
I think it's funny
And it
that
was different to see you guys. Do
that was
something.
such a 10-year thing of hidden tracks. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
from 98 to about maybe not even 10 years, like 98 to 2005 ish.
Yeah.
That was it, and then no more.
The things that people were
Like,
doing with
I remember
Well,
Marilyn Manson was one of the first to do it,
For me,
but it's so
Nirvana did it, man, on
Yeah.
Nevermind.
Oh,
and that was in
yeah.
1990 or 91 or whatever. That's like, I think, the first hidden track I could ever think of. And then from there, like a few other artists had done it, whatever, like
Yeah,
that.
little
And
bits.
then if there was a resurgence of it, I think that started maybe with us or something in that time frame.
That's when
So
people
good.
were actually making full albums and not just. Like
Yeah,
nowadays,
because there
you
was
can't
this
expect
thing,
people are gonna
kids
listen
out
to the
there,
whole
there
thing.
was this thing back in the old days, they were called CDs, and they were little
Yeah.
round discs of plastic that you would put in a player,
Right.
and then, you know,
They
you had a certain
those-
amount of time.
Those players barely fit in your pocket.
Right, exactly. And so,
Andrew's looking
yeah.
at you like, what is the CD you speak
Yeah,
of?
and now everything's so immediate. It's like, oh, I just want to, want to stream whatever my favorite tune is,
yeah.
and so like it's sort of a dying or dead art. I mean, I think everything goes in circles and cycles, and it's somehow in some way that art, that form of the album, the long form album, will return.
Yeah.
And
I think
so-
it honestly, it inspires creativity. It's like now we have this obstacle of people can just sit there and pick a song out of my album before they even
Right.
listen to the whole thing and then never listen to the rest of it. It's like, well, now as creative people, we have that obstacle of hooking them. Like, you're gonna listen to this whole album,
Right, because
And
we
what
live
is it
we
that-
live in such a Twitter culture. Like everything is instant. News is breaking every second. There's something new, so you have to be what's popular in that second.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like, well, this whole album's really good, guys. No, and that's just how we are
Right,
now.
yeah.
It sucks, but that's
You know
how
what
it
just
is.
got me is Kendrick Lamar just came out with a record called Damn, and I went out and got the record. I'm like, dude, solid record, absolutely great, love his work, awesome. And then I just came across this meme or some video on YouTube that was talking about his original intention for that record, like the track listing and the order of the songs, right? If you take them and put them in the exact opposite order, so instead of listening from front to back, you listen to it from back to front. Apparently, that was his original order for the songs, and for some whatever reason, it changed when they released the album. And so I went, I went onto my Apple Music and I reordered the songs in a playlist. Totally different album, dude. Like to me, like it vibes way better. The flow is better. Like
That's
it's something
interesting.
about the way the energy carries that's different. And like, now I'm hooked on listening to that record simply because
That's really
some
interesting.
new information came to light.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, like, the power of music is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And just something so small like that can like change your whole perspective on a record.
Yeah.
Music is great. Yeah.
Interesting. Very
I
interesting.
like music.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
You find yourself kind of showing them things that like maybe they don't have to go through or they haven't had to experience because nowadays everything, like he says, everything's like at your fingertips with technology, and it's like, is there anything out there that stands out? Like
the boys, like showing like the kids. You know what? I mean, a little bit here and there. Like when it comes to if something comes around, I'm like, back in my day we didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
This is a tree, ancient. No,
yeah, what?
I was just talking about trees. I don't know why.
Ancient times.
Ancient
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Back,
is he into? Are you playing any instruments?
No, I'm
No.
not. I'm not though. I want to do piano though.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, dude,
I
that's
like it.
awesome.
Right.
Somebody once told me that if learning the piano increases your IQ by 10%.
Oh,
I don't really know
well.
if that's the case though.
Well, probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just
Hey,
a
you
fan.
can just say that now, and
Yeah.
And yeah.
like a guy told me that. I
No,
believe
just
it.
say,
Like,
say
it's
you got
facts.
it from a
Yeah.
Snapple cap, and then nobody will. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Andrew's actually introduced me to the world of anime film scores.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Do you listen
Like-
to this, or do you-
Well, no, but
Oh.
you let me know about him, like, and
yeah.
like you show me like bits of work. I mean, I'm not rushing out to like go get the newest Shiro Sagaisu album. Like, I mean, this.
that guy?
No, I mean, like, no, check it out. Like break it down. Break it down.
Okay. Well, not all anime film scores are great though. If we're talking about just most of it is trash. But if we're gonna talk about the little bits of gold that are in there, like there's this one composer. I'm not gonna go on an entire rant about him. His name's Shiro Sagaisu. He does work for several anime like Berserk, the movies, and then the Evangelion, and all that stuff. And I just find his work just to be just amazing in terms of it. Cause I'm more of an orchestral guy rather than like anything
Nice.
else. So, and I always listen to film scores in my meantime, and his music just kind of he does so much like stuff. Like sometimes he'll do like just pure like classical orchestra, and then he'll do like classical orchestra, and then in the middle of it there's like a weird like electronic guitar thrown in there. I'm like,
yeah.
what's
Cool.
this? And then there's another one, and it's like another one. Oh, oops. And then it's like just like electronic piano, and then just like a choir going crazy. He uses
Yeah.
a choir a lot, and it's insane.
that sounds
It's
cool.
So like
amazing.
he's discovering music like in his own way, and then like Bond, like he is really into dubstep.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
and then so like, and then also like him and his friends at school, they really they're getting into like video game, like people who make music for video games, like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yeah.
soundtrack for Cuphead, and like
Oh.
DA Games, I think is one of the artists that that Bond was telling me about. So like they're discovering things in their own way, in their own path, and I'm
Right.
like, let's listen to some like Bad Brains or whatever. Like, nah, that's cool. I'm like, well, we can. You want to listen to some old Papa Roach? Check this out. Check out my. And of course, it's always cool. Like when we're driving down this, drive them to school or whatever, and like I listen to like the 98 Rock, and like one of my songs will come on and be like, hey guys, check it out. And they're like, yeah, cool,
Yeah,
dude.
All right, I
Good,
get it.
You're
good,
like,
cool
I'd
story,
be
bro.
pumped.
I'm trying to listen to my Shiro Sagaisu, man.
Exactly. He's like, cool story, Dave. I'm gonna go back to listening to my Shiro Sagaisu
Yeah,
music
you're
on
like-
my.
You're
on
like,
my
no,
headphones."
but you don't understand. That's me. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
I
get
played
it.
I played the drums on
get
the
it.
song. It's on the radio. That's what I.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
The entire orchestra
Yeah.
played the drums on this song, so
Exactly. And there you go. That's the perils of being a parent. There you go.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. One of these days they'll think I'm cool. I hope.
I mean,
I
you
hope.
are cool. What are you talking about?
Nice.
Hey,
There
really?
you go.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
Hug it out. Hug it out.
Oh, we're hugging.
I was about to say, do you get kids at school that like, oh my gosh, like,
I try, but I fail miserably because kids. I'm not gonna get into that. I remember one time, my with this kid, is like, hey, what type of music you listen to? I'm like, oh, I listen to orchestra. And he's like, oh yeah, well, what type? I'm like, oh, this artist named Shiro Sagaisu, and he's like, okay, I'll look him up. He comes back later to me the next day. He's like, hey, listen to your composer's music. His music's really gay. I'm just like, oh god.
you're like,
I'm just
oh
like,
man.
I just hate just.
You just
being
go back.
Small-
You go back to him and go,
small-minded
look,
people.
Right.
you go back and listen to Jake Paul and just leave me alone.
There you
Every
go.
day,
Yeah.
bro.
I know. Oh my god, I hate that guy.
I hate both of them. So
I'm sort of out of the loop on
Yeah.
that whole world, but
I don't
did.
even know that.
Don't
There's
worry
like
about
two
it.
brothers, like Jake
It's
and
Jake and Logan.
and
they're
Logan
they're
Paul.
YouTubers. They're
Oh,
Dude,
I know
they're
the
the one-
controversy behind
right,
the other
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, you
It's
heard
bad.
about that whole scandal that went down in Japan and
Is
whatever.
it like
and
the
no, scandal.
suicide?
The suicide
Yeah,
forest
suicide
thing.
Crazy shit.
Oh man, just brutal.
Just ruining
Brutal, man,
YouTube
but-
for everybody.
Yikes.
Thank
Anyhow,
Yeah.
so
And now YouTube's just like, oh, we have a new like law set in place where it's not really law, but it's like you have to. We're basically gonna ruin smaller channels.
Yeah,
like,
it's bad.
yeah, that, and I'm just like,
So
good
we
job.
have a lot to look forward to when we get on
So
YouTube.
it's gonna be
Don't worry
somebody
about it.
that's gonna mess it up.
censorship is fun.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
great. So,
I think that's all we got.
Yeah,
I love it.
Sorry, we could keep talking.
Yeah,
forever,
of course,
you know?
yeah.
too, man. Oof.
well, thank you for coming on the show, guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really,
thank you
we
guys
really
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thanks for having us, man. I really appreciate you
a lot of
guys
fun.
throwing it out there and just being able to come and do stuff like this. I just really dig the hell out of it. It's
I
cool.
love it.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
Really?
Yeah.
Anytime.
Oh, I'll definitely come back.
What about
Please,
me?
please. I love it so much.
Do you? Where can they find us?
Oh, they can find us on YouTube, Instagram,
Correct.
and Facebook, all at Hardly Heroes.
This is all true.
Wow.
They can
Yes.
find us on Twitter at Hardly Heroes.
One.
Boom. And anything Hardly Heroes, you can go to hardlyheroes.com.
And do you have anything that you want to
Yeah,
pump or
anything you want.
promote or anything?
Says you want people to leave you alone?
Not a damn thing.
I love it.
Anything
There
I'm
we go.
doing,
So I
man.
want to be a dad.
I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just chill,
works.
man.
I understand.
I'm chilling.
And-
Nice.
I have an Instagram that I will not talk about because it's bad and I don't like it.
There you go.
Although I do have a Twitter and it's at Andrew Ascona on Twitter. If
There
you
it
can-
is.
Yeah, you can
There
probably
you go.
find it.
Perfect.
And then
I like it.
that's basically all I have. Yeah.
Awesome.
I also have a letterbox, but no one really knows what that is.
I don't know what that is.
It's
That
basically a
doesn't sound
movie
familiar.
reviewing site where you go on, you look at a movie, you rate it at like 1 to 10 stars, and I do that. I'm like, this is why this movie's good, and I'm also like, this is why this movie's trash.
Oh, I love it.
It's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Nice.
cool.
Well, then there you go.
You can
That's
also
cool.
find me
I'll
there.
check that
if
out.
you do
That's
that
new
same
information
things.
for me too. I'm like, I'm gonna go check out your letterbox. Man.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
hold
let's see
on.
What's
Yeah.
this kid writing out there? Let's
I
see
love
what's
it.
going on. Yeah, check that out.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, thanks guys. I really.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really dug
Thanks
this.
Thank you
again.
so much.
Thank you
So
all
much
so
fun.
much, man.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
time.
Just remember one thing.
Disclaimer: they don't know shit.
You guys have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.